Sarah, lovely to see you. I'm Rianne. I think we've met before. It's nice to see you again. We haven't done any exercise here before, so I just wanted to let you know, if in case of emergency, fire exits are just by the stairs. The bathrooms are just around the corner on the right. If you need any water, there's a water fountain just in the kitchen just here on where we came through. Okay. Just so I can check before we start that you're happy to exercise. I know that you're on some medication for your blood pressure. Have you taken that today? Good. And how are you feeling well? Feeling well. Excellent. How's your pain at the moment?
Good. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Lower end. Excellent. So nothing has changed since I saw you last. No new injuries, no new pains.
No.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Right. Shall we make a start? Okay. What we're going to try and do today is, because you're suffering with quite a lot of lower back pain, what we do with Pilates is we try and work on your posture. We look at your breathing, so that will help with your hypertension, so that we can try and lower that blood pressure by looking at being a little bit more calm and breathing, using more capacity in the lungs. We're going to try and mobilise some of your joints. We're going to try and make you a little bit more flexible. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight, so it's not all going to happen today, but that's what we're trying to achieve today, and going forwards with your programme is trying to get your range of motion better, so that you can do your daily activities without too much pain. Happy with that?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Okay, right, what we're going to do is we're going to start with we'll do an extended warm-up with you because you're new and you've got quite a lot of pain. So normally we would do a short warm-up and then focus more on the main phase, but actually we're going to try and warm you up a bit slower. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to come with your feet hip width apart. Now, we often think our hips are wider than they are. If you turn your toe, you should be able to touch the arch of the other foot. Excellent. So that's where your hips are. What we're looking at next is we're looking to try and get that beautiful posture. So we're looking at our legs. So we don't want our knees bent like that, and we don't want them snapped right back. So we want them nice and soft. Then what I want you to do is we're looking for what we call neutral pelvis in Pilates, and it's the optimal position for you to not put any strain on that spine through that pelvis. It's different for everyone, and we're not perfect. It's just finding that range of movement. So what I want you to do is try and imagine that you're a bucket of water here. And what happens? If you tip your pelvis forwards, you spill water out the top of your bucket that way. If you tip your pelvis back, you spill water out of the back. So I want you to rock your pelvis backwards and forwards, sloshing that water around. Then I want you in your mind to think, right, I'm going to try not to spill any of that water, so I'm going to make my movement smaller and smaller until I find a position where I think there's no water spilling this way or that way. My hips feel nice and level. Are you comfortable with me touching you?
Yeah.
So your hips should feel nice and level, which they look great. Good. And your tailbone should be pointing down between those heels. Great. We're going to move up the body. We're going to roll our shoulders up and back. We'll give it one more go. Excellent. Chin is parallel with the floor. Pilates fair is putting you up a little bit taller. Excellent. Beautiful. So if you just slow down with those. Good. That looks beautiful. You look nice and straight. Do you feel comfortable like that?
Yeah.
It feels a little bit odd because that's not how we hold ourselves normally. Good. Breathing in Pilates. We try and use as much lungs as we can. So we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. We try not to breathe into our shoulders or push our diaphragm. Try and imagine that we're bellows. We go out and we come in. Excellent. That looks brilliant. Well done. Okay. Now what we're going to do is try and find that core. We're going to look. It's a really crude way of describing it, but imagine you're having a wee and halfway through you try and stop yourself. That's the sensation. Don't do that, it causes infection. But that's what we're looking for, okay? So we're looking to pull that in without tensing those bum cheeks, without squeezing through those shoulders. We're doing it so that we're holding it nice and firm, but we can breathe over it, so we can exercise while we're holding. Good. Then we're going to pull in on the next out-breath. We always exert ourselves on the out-breath in Pilates. Next out-breath, come in with that navel. Excellent. That looks great. Well done. Okay, so we've got lovely posture. What we're going to try and do now is we're going to try and mobilise through that back, trying to get rid of some of that pain, trying to get those joints moving. What I want you to do is relax your shoulders, bring your hands so that your thumbs are on your sternum in front of you, your shoulders are nice and relaxed, a little bit wonky. Excellent. We take a breath. As we breathe out, we're trying to imagine we've got headlights on our hips, so we're not moving our hips. Take a breath, and we just rotate a small amount as we blow out, coming back on the in-breath. Good. And again, coming back in. How's that pain? Good, no pain? Excellent. I'm just going to keep my fingers there as you do it, just to make sure we're keeping those hips nice and forwards. That's brilliant. Excellent. One more. Very good. One more each way. Fantastic. Last way. Keep breathing, breathing out as you go. Fantastic. And back to the middle. Check you've still got hold of that pelvic floor. I'm going to tell you 100 times all the way through. Release your hands. We're going to try and mobilise through those shoulders, okay? What I want you to do is take a breath as you breathe out. I want you to imagine that you're trying to touch your ears with your shoulders. Come up, roll it back. Imagine that you're opening across your chest and back down. Good. And again. Excellent. Don't let go through your pelvic floor. Still holding nice and firmly. No pain? No? Excellent. You're doing really, really well. Up and back. 2 more. Let's just warm up through those shoulders. Get them moving. Good. Have a quick look from the back. Excellent. It looks a little bit stiff, but you're doing really, really well. 1 plus 1. Excellent. Very good. Okay, let's try mobilising all the way down. So we're trying to move through our waist now. So we're still holding that lovely posture, still holding that core. What we're going to do is we're going to have one hand palm facing up, the other is going to slide down our legs. So I want you to imagine you're between 2 panes of glass. I'm going to take a breath. As you blow out, you're going to come over, stretching through your side, and back in on the in-breath. What I want you to be careful is because you've got lower back pain, I don't want you to take it too far. I want you to listen to your body. When your body says it's enough, then you come back. As you warm up, you'll be able to get further. So start with a nice small movement. Off we go. Good. And back you come. Excellent. Holding that core, relaxing your shoulders. Very nice. Good. One more on this side. I'm going to change to the other side. Just checking that you're keeping those hips nice and level. Fantastic. Good. Watch the weight in your toes. Don't lean too far into your toes. Try and make that equal. Fantastic. Let's change to the other side. Keeping that chin parallel, holding that core nice and firmly. Over we go. Good. Feeling all right on this side? Yeah, it's better this side than this side. Is it? That's interesting. We'll have a look at your hips in a minute and see which hip is tighter. Good. Very good. Okay, let's bring those hands down. Let's move down a little bit. The pelvis, where you get most of your pain. This is what I want you to really focus on. And these are the ones I want you to do as homework. I want you to try every time you fit the kettle on. This is what I want you to do, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to bend your knees slightly, still keeping that lovely posture, yes? Still holding our core, still holding our navel. Shoulders stay relaxed. I want you to imagine that you are rocking that pelvis, yes? Now, it's going to be very tricky because your back is quite sore, it's quite stiff. So we're keeping that nice relaxed shoulders. Breathing helps you, so you breathe out as you come up, you breathe in as you release. And what you'll find is that the more you do it, the less stiff it gets and the more movement back you'll have. But today we're not going to do the back movement because I don't want you to increase that pain. So let's give it a try and then you need to tell me whether that's too sore. So take your breath, breathing out and breathing in. How's that feel? Okay. Is that hard work or is that alright? It's surprising, it's a small movement and actually it takes strain through your legs. That's excellent, that's really good effort. Don't forget your breathing. And release. Very good. Good. I notice you haven't brought any water with you. If there's any point you want to stop and have a drink, let me know. Okay, fantastic. Shall we just move on? Right, we've done up as far as here. We need to do the bottom half. What I want you to do is imagine that you're pedaling a bike, but you're standing still to do it. So we're keeping the upper body relaxed. We're trying to isolate the bottom half. So I want you to take your weight into one set of toes, still holding through that middle, keeping yourself nice and upright. You're going to take a breath. As you blow out, you're going to push the weight into the other foot and change. This looks gorgeous, but I want you to try and control those hips with those core muscles, yes? So up you come, Beautiful. So we're just going to keep going for a little while, trying to move. What happens with this is we're mobilising through those feet, those ankles and the knees. Ooh, a bit crunchy in there. Are you all right? Good. There's no pain, just a bit crunchy. Fantastic. All right, shall we move on? You look great. That's fantastic. Let's move on and do... So now we've warmed up the body a little bit, we're going to try and see what our range of movement is like. We're going to try and do some squats. But what I want you to be careful about, do you know what a squat looks like? Yeah. Yes, excellent. What happens sometimes when we squat, we stick our bottom out like a duck, and what will happen is your back pain will get worse. So you need to remember to pull your pubic bone up. Imagine you've got a piece of elastic from your nose to your pubic bone, and you have to have it so it's pulling up this way. So as you go down, we're not poking out that now, we're pulling under. So it's going to be a small squat for you because your back is sore. We're just going to help with the balance with our hands and back up. Our position of our legs and knees are important. We keep the knees facing those toes and we don't come beyond those toes, okay? I want you to give it a try. Imagine you're going to sit in a chair. Ooh, nice clunking those knees. Let's try it again. Excellent. Crunchy knees, are they sore? No? Excellent. How's that back when you do that? Good. With your breathing, I want you to breathe out. Breathing in. Very good. Excellent. Is that your right knee? Because that's the hip that's tight. You've got something going on down that right side that we'll have to investigate at another session. Sorry. It's all right. That's why you're here, that we can work on these kinds of things. It's getting more mobility through that crunching. All right, shall we stop doing that? We don't want to exasperate any pain. Okay, right. Now, this is something that we need to work on gradually because we're going to try and mobilise down through your spine. You're not going to get to the ground today because your back is very painful. What we want to do is we want to try and switch off the neck and shoulder muscles so we let go of our head. We keep those feet in that great position. We're keeping that pelvis in that nice neutral position for as long as we can. We take a breath. As we blow out, we let the head and shoulders come forwards. We use the weight of those head and shoulders to stretch each vertebra one at a time. What I want you to do today is just come as far as here and then back up. Yes? I want you to let go. Keep that pelvis flat, hold that core, support that spine, and come down as far as you feel comfortable. So I'm going to hold you here, so I want to make sure your pelvis stays flat. Take a breath, let go of the neck muscles and shoulder muscles. Good. So you imagine you're a rag doll, you're coming down, and you're coming back up. Good. It's quite stiff through here, we'll give that another go. Excellent, that's much, much better, well done. How does that feel? Okay. A bit painful. Okay. We're not going to do one more. I don't want to exasperate that pain today. We're just going to take it gently because it's your first session. Last one. Excellent. Well done. Good job. Okay. Right. We're going to move on to coming down onto your hands and knees. Are you comfortable on your knees? Because I know you've got pain in your back. Your knees have been crunching, but are they all right? Put weight on them. Excellent. So bring yourself down safely onto the floor, taking your hands forward. So, what we're trying to achieve is, what I want you to see is your hands are underneath your shoulders, so you don't have any stress through those shoulders. Your knees stay under your hips. Now, gravity is not our friend in this position, so we have to work much harder to control that pelvic floor and that core. So you have to pull it up a little bit more. What we don't want to see is dipping down like that because you're going to crush through that painful part of your back. And we don't want to see pushing up through the shoulders like that, because then we're not going to work the right muscles. So we're going to start with that beautiful position. Your head is an extension of your spine. Holding the core nice and firmly, we're going to start nice and slowly. We're going to take a breath. As we blow out, we're just going to slide the foot away, and then we're going to bring it back on the in-breath. What I don't want to see you do is rock out onto your hip. I want you to try and control it, and I want you to do it without letting go through your core. Let's give it a try and see how we get on. I'm just going to stand here so I can see if your hips stay nice and level. Fantastic. And back. Bringing those knees back to underneath those hips. Brilliant. And again on the other side, please. Good. Slightly more rocking. Can you feel you're rocking out on this side? So I think this, again, was just showing us that this side is really quite tight compared to this side. Let's try one more time. Good. One more on the other side. I'm just going to show you with my hands. Good. Can you see that you've got a little bit of rotation there? Good. Very good. Well done. I'm conscious that we are on a time. How does that feel? Do you feel that causing any extra stress on that back? No. Fantastic. Okay. Right. Could you come to sitting, please? I want you to just come back onto those knees, hands to the side. Bring your legs around. Fantastic. Now, when we sit down, what's really comfortable is like that. That's really comfortable. We can roll our shoulders quite a lot, but it doesn't really help with our posture. What really controls our posture is the hips. So if we roll our hips forward, we get a nice straight back. If that sometimes feels uncomfortable, that's lovely. If you find that you can't sit like that, what would help is if you put a block underneath your bottom, raises you up a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier to control that back. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to keep that nice back, and I want you to put your legs out just a little. Good. We instantly do that because we're stretching our legs, so we need to then really compensate through those hips. Are your hamstrings pulling? Yes. Bring your legs in a little. How does that feel? Still pulling? It's better. It's better? How about if we do it like this? That's much better. Perfect. We're going to start from there. As we progress, we can get our legs wider. The bigger the range of motion, the lever, the more you get that stretch. Okay. So what we're going to try and do is mobilise through that spine. So I want you to hold your elbows, keeping your chin parallel. Check we've still got that pelvic floor and navel engaged. We're taking a breath as we blow out. We're rotating, and we're back to the middle. Now, the temptation to do here is wave around to our shoulders. What I want you to do is move your hips. I'm going to come behind you, and I want to hold your hips, and I want to feel as you twist. There. Can you feel the difference? Yeah. Excellent. Back to the middle, breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Back to the middle, breathing out. Fantastic. Much, much better. Well done. How does that feel? Good. How's the pain? Excellent. One more on each side. Very good. Well done. That's excellent. That's great work. Relax those arms. Okay. Now, you just shuffle yourself forward onto that mat and bring yourself to a lying down position. Now, you still need to find that neutral pelvis even though you're lying on it, which is quite tricky because we're lying down. The concept is the same. That bucket of water. So what I want you to try and imagine is that your pubic bone here and your hip bone has to be level. So if you put a glass on your pelvis, you should be able to move your limbs without spilling any liquid. So if I place my hands here, I want you to push down on my fingers. Can you see there's a space appears underneath your lower back? That is fine, provided there's no space ever underneath this part of your back here. If you arch at the top, you will hurt your lower back even more and you will exacerbate your pain. Yes? So, in this position, I want you to pull up your pelvic floor and squeeze in your navel. I want you to completely relax your upper body. So, place your hands by your side. Good. I'm just going to lie next to you so you can see me. So, what I want you to do is bring your feet a little bit closer. Do you have a tendency to cramp? No. Excellent. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we are going to try and mobilise the entire spine, pelvis. This is a great exercise for doing everything at once. It's called the shoulder bridge. Again, that piece of elastic from our nose to our pubic bone is very important. So we pull the pubic bone up towards the nose. Then we raise the bottom. Then we raise the hips. We're holding the core the entire time. Shoulders are completely relaxed. I want you to get as far as your waist today because I don't want you to come up too far because we don't want to make that pain worse in that upper back. We're doing that as we breathe out. We take a breath. And then we go back in the opposite way. So we pull that pubic bone up towards us. We place the hips down, the bottom, then we flatten down through that pelvic bone. Yes? Okay. It's not easy. It takes a bit of practice. But I'm absolutely convinced that you can do it. So relax. You look quite tense in those shoulders. Good. Keeping everything relaxed. Pull up your pelvic floor. Hold your navel. Pull that pubic bone up. Excellent. Lift those hips. Good. Take a breath and blow out and come back down in the opposite way. Fantastic. Very, very good. Sort of a rocking motion. How does it feel? Is your back all right in that position? Yeah. Good. Okay. Let's try a couple more. Relax your shoulders. Control your breathing. So take a breath before you start. Then breathe out as you move. Good. Another breath. And don't move until you're breathing out again. Fantastic. Excellent. Well done. One more. Good. And back down we go. Well done. How does that feel?
Good. It's a bit awkward.
But it is a bit awkward, isn't it? And actually for somebody like you with back pain, it's one of the best things that you can do to mobilise through that lower back without putting any pressure. Because when you're standing, obviously, you're putting pressure down through that spine. But lying like that, it takes that away so you can get that movement. Excellent. Okay. Well done. You've worked really hard. Should we just do a little bit of a cool down so that we can restore those muscles back to where they are? If you just stay lying down for me, we're just going to do it by doing some stretches, trying to get those muscles back into the position that they were before, and just to moderate the breathing if you've got slightly raised breath. Okay, so lying in this position, again, we're keeping hold of that pelvic floor because we're going to twist. You always have to protect that spine. Our hands are out flat on the floor. We extend one leg along the floor and the foot of the other against the knee. Now, I'm going to ask you to do is lower your knee over. The pain in your back will dictate how far you take that knee, yes? So, you hold your core, you take a breath, and you start to lower your knee over. When your pain, you have to listen to your body. If the pain says that's enough, that's where you stop. The shoulders have to stay down. So I don't want to see you bringing up a shoulder. Excellent. So what we're trying to achieve is a nice stretch all the way down through that sore part. So you need that shoulder down and that knee across. Can you feel that stretch? Excellent. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Keep relaxed in the upper body. Very good. Very, very good. Bringing that slowly up and changing your legs. Good. Relaxing the upper body, taking your breath, holding your core. Over we go. Can you see the shoulders coming off? So bring it back a little. There. Excellent. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to over-twist. Very good. Very good. Nice stretch. No pain. Yeah. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, back you come. Okay, bring yourself up to sitting, please. We've discovered that this is a little bit too much for you, so we're going to cross our legs. We're going to relax those shoulders. We're keeping that lovely straight back. We're taking a breath. We're going to place our hands in front of us. As we blow out, we're going to do the same as we were rolling down earlier, but we're going to do it in a seated position. And we're just going to roll our head until we feel that lovely stretch in our back. Yes? Big breath, blow out. Rolling down. Very good. Don't let go through that core, don't let that tummy bulge just because you're sitting down. That's lovely. How does that feel? Good. Excellent. And then slowly rolling back up. One more, big breath, and blow out. Good. Do you feel that you could progress that stretch a little? Yeah. Good. So when you're down, take a further breath and just slide your hands away from you just a little. As you blow out and then back up. Very good. Excellent. Well done. Fantastic. Okay, let's come back up onto those hands and knees. So earlier we were talking about keeping that lovely flat back, holding that core. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath those hips, wiping those knees just a little. What we're going to try and do this time is stretch. So what I said to you before, doing that, that's what we're trying to achieve this time. So we're letting go of the neck muscles and let that head droop. We take a breath as we blow out. We stretch like a cat, pushing up through the shoulders, pushing up the lower back and the upper back. And as we breathe in, we release. Feeling okay? Let's do one more. Breathing out. And release. Fantastic. Okay, let's come back up to standing. So what you do is flip your toes push yourself up safely. Good. Very good. Okay, let's find that lovely posture one last time. So remembering, we're rocking that pelvis, keeping those feet hip width apart, relaxing those shoulders. We're just going to mobilise. We're going to take a breath in. Try not to raise your shoulders, just your arms. And breathing out. Good. One more. Very good. Well done. You did a great job. What I want you to take away is that pelvic tilt is really important for somebody like you with a lower back pain, is that when you flick that kettle on, when you're waiting for anything, is that you try and find that nice neutral pelvis and you try and rocking through that pelvis. That will really help with that pain. Great. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.